Welcome back to Lucid Living, and if this is your first time, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to have you aboard. My name is Andrew Larkin. I'm an actor, model, performer, storyteller, breathwork coach, and today I'm going to be your host, your guide for today's podcast episode. All right, my friends, we got a fun one today. I got a really great friend and a very talented human being on board, and I'm really excited for this conversation. But before we dive in, let's do some nice, deep, intentional present breath work. So today, let's just do a 4 count box breath. So we're going to do 3 rounds of an inhale for 4, a hold for 4, an exhale for 4, and a hold for 4. This is a balancing breath, so it just calms us and brings us back to our center. So as we inhale, and you can follow my count, we're going to inhale through the nose. As we inhale, we're going to expand the belly outwards, filling up that diaphragm. The diaphragm, like you're filling up a water balloon. You're going to hold out the top for 4, and then exhale out the mouth. The belly comes back to your center, and then you're going to hold out the bottom for 4. And we're going to do that 3 times. All right, let's begin by grounding ourselves. And inhale through the nose in 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Exhale out the mouth. 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Exhale out the mouth. 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Last one through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. And exhale out the mouth. 3, 2, 1. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. You can return to your natural breathing patterns. Feeling good, feeling fresh, feeling ready. All right, my friends, today we have an actor, an author, a playwright, a video editor, a fish father, and you may know him as Cameron from Vampire Next Door. We got Alex Matthews. What's going on, brother?
What's up, dude? Oh man, I am a fish father. Did I tell you that? Did you know that about me?
Yeah, I did. I did. Wait, what kind of fish do you have? Because I grew up with fish.
Yeah, I don't really know what they well, I got one like goldfish and the other two are like I guess they're goldfish, but they're sort of like they were 45 cents versus $2. So I don't know, like,
Ooh,
you know what I mean? Like the
yeah.
$2 one is like the classic goldfish. The other two I think are meant for like getting eaten. So they're just stoked to
Mm-hmm.
be alive and swimming around in my tank. And then I have this one little dude named Steve.
See,
He's just like blue and red. He's really cool. And then I have two algae eaters. So my tank is it's
oh,
full. It's a
do
party.
you take
But
care of it too? Like, do you give them like
yeah,
a supply
yeah,
list?
yeah. They've been pooping a lot, dude. Like I've been cleaning
Healthy,
their poop a
healthy.
lot. Like
Nice.
normally I clean their tank like once every like 2-ish weeks, but lately I've had to clean them kind of like consistently like every 2 days, and I'm like, guys, we gotta stop
Interesting.
pooping
Getting
so much.
excited.
But no, it's good. More poop the better, I guess.
Amen.
So
Amen.
yes.
You're good. As long as our fish have good bowel movements, I'm here for it.
That's what I'm
All right,
saying.
brother. So as we dive in, just right off the bat, just let the audience know where you are, how you're feeling in
Hmm.
this present season of life.
Yeah. No, I am in a season of change, which is good, but can be scary. But no, everything's kind of moving. Like I'm literally moving. I'm like just seeing a lot of my friends kind of moving around too, like in their lives, literally moving as well. And so I can kind of just feel the sense of that like life is shifting and changing. I'm gonna be start looking for a new job soon. All those kind of things where it's just like
Mm-hmm.
it's all just shifting and changing, which is good, but it's
Mm-hmm.
a little scary.
Yeah,
So yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
it's pretty nuts. Yeah,
Transformation. Beautiful.
yeah.
Brother, now we're gonna bang out the past. I always find that when I connect with new people, even friends, and even doing, my own work,
Mm,
a lot of who we are now comes from how we were raised, what our childhood was like, all the different hobbies, interests, things that led us step by step by step by step in these different chapters of life. Almost, like middle school is like its own chapter, high school is its own chapter,
yeah.
and beyond.
Hmm.
So if you want to share in your own words your life story, all of the elements and the pieces and the steps that brought you, Alex Matthews, to where you are today.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from Iowa originally. I was born in Chicago, was there for like 4 months, and then parents moved back to Iowa. That's where they were born and raised. Um, and so I grew up in Iowa. A lot of like just it was great. Like parents were awesome, treated me well, like taught me a lot about creativity. Grew up with Legos. That's one thing that I miss so
Mm-hmm.
much. It's just like, dude, just coming home, building Legos. That's the only concern you have is like, do I have this piece that could fit here?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm.
world is over. But now it's like, oh, bills. That sucked.
Yeah.
But no, I actually like I credit a lot of my creativity to just kind of like as a kid just building Legos, kind of being bored, running around outside, doing all the like coloring and stuff like that like we don't do a lot of anymore,
Mm.
which it's of course we're adults, it's we don't really get to do that. But yeah, I just sort of was very just a creative kid growing up, constantly drawing, was pretending to be somebody else all the time. There was a huge jungle gym at my school, and I was a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan.
Yes, bro.
And so I would I would do ninja training every day as Mikey, of course, the best one. If anybody
Do
has
you
a problem
have
with that, then
who's
they're wrong.
Mikey? Is he nunchucks?
Oh yeah, nunchucks. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a pizza guy. Oh yeah. He was my favorite. Um, and I would just like parkour all the time. Of course, it wasn't parkour, just me like jumping from like one piece to another and like
Yeah.
falling, getting back up, fighting
Uh-huh.
Shredder. It was great, but I was always just pretending to be somebody else as a kid, and every time I would like think about who I was, I'd kind of run away from that, and yeah, I just preferred pretending to be other people and pretending to do other things, which I think a lot of kids do. Um, but yeah, I just kind of was constantly doing that. And then by the time I was in high school, my brother took a film class and he was like, "Hey, dude, I need an actor." And I was like, "Acting's dumb. I'm not gonna do that, dude." Weird. Yeah, the only time I thought about being an actor before that was in middle school. There was a mime show, and there was a girl that I really liked that was doing the mime show, and I was like, maybe
Mm-hmm.
maybe I could be a mime.
Yes.
And then I went to the first rehearsal and was scared of the drama teacher, so I ran away. But so the time I started doing acting was because my brother needed help, and so I credit my brother Ben for where I am in that, because we would do a short film like once every month or 2 months, and they're all just like they range in how good they are. Like some are like we
Mm-hmm.
love talking about them still. Some of them were like,
Yeah.
if that could never surface to the light of day ever again, that would be great.
Mm.
But yeah, we worked with friends, we made friends from it. My friend Allison helped a lot, and then like just yeah, we had just kind of created this film community in my high school, and um started doing drama, did the plays, loved doing that, did speech competition, wrote my own like 5 minute acting pieces where I'd switch into all these different characters and just had a
Mhm.
bunch of fun with that. And yeah, it was just high school. It was just this, I really just blossomed into learning who I wanted to be and how I wanted to be around people and stuff like that. Because middle school, I was just terrified of everyone and just running around and just kind of staying as quiet as possible. But high school, I really just was able to grow, and yeah, it was great. So now I'm out here in LA and trying to make the acting thing work. And yeah, we did the Vampire Next Door together, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I yep, still at the base level of my career. I just signed with the talent management agency thing,
Yes,
and
dude.
excited
That's
about
huge.
that.
Congratulations.
Yeah, super excited. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, no, it's been a crazy journey. And so to recognize the fact that I'm in a season of change is good, because I know what that looks and feels like now. But yeah, it's definitely makes things
Yeah,
uncertain
absolutely.
for the future. But
And that's
yeah,
that's like the whole acting gig, which we'll dive
yeah,
into, in a little bit. But
yeah,
what was
yeah.
for anyone? Because I always find it interesting, like the birth of the creative spark and the bug of performing,
Hmm.
and the steps that you take to kind of get to where you are. Like, what was, so you were in high school, you were performing,
Hmm.
you were falling in love, you were not just falling in love, but you were good at it too. And then did you go to college? Like, did you do a 4 year program or?
Yeah, I came out to LA doing the yeah, I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, which was a it's a school in Hollywood. It was a 2-year program. COVID kind of interrupted it and kind of
Mm,
tried to ruin it, but I had to do a little bit of online courses. Which I don't know if you've ever done
bro.
online
I
acting,
had
but
yeah, I
brother.
had to I was doing because my senior year got cut off by COVID
Yeah.
and I was taking an acting class that
Mm.
semester. So everything was online after that. I was also doing a shop class. So we were supposed to like weld and like we so like what do you do online?
Ow!
We had to like do
Yeah.
diagrams and it was whack.
Did they send you saws in the mail? Like, did your parents
No,
think you were
that
becoming a
wasn't that.
psychopath?
We did like a
Oh,
knot
buzzsaw came in.
so we could do at
Oh
home, but
yeah.
yeah, no, tragic.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, no, we had to do improv class and like a dude in London and I'm in Iowa and like somebody in
Oh, that's it.
Zimbabwe and like the connection's just
Wow,
off.
that's
And so
cool.
like so we're
Yeah,
like trying to do a scene about like being a farmer or whatever and just
right.
and the director just didn't quite understand like hey, what is happening? Like, why aren't you guys hitting your cues? Why aren't you guys like bouncing off one another? And it's like, dude, because that guy's in Zimbabwe. Like, the connection is just literally off because
Oh
our
yeah.
internet's terrible. Like, mine's bad. I'm in a basement right now. Like, this dude's in London. It was just like, it was just tough, and it kind of like I was home in Iowa for most of COVID, and it kind of dampened my dream a little bit because I was like uh am I really supposed to be doing this? Like, is this if like the world is going and falling apart, like one, like what it was an actor's place in the world when the world is falling apart. I felt like I couldn't do anything, I couldn't help anyone. And like um but then I realized like, a performer's job is to keep people entertained and to keep them um, you know, like aware of the situation, but also like can distract from the situation and kind of
Mm,
like and also like watch something and kind of see what about that can they take and put it within themselves and like learn about themselves. So it was that was also a season of growth and learning. Okay, this is really what I want to do, so I can help people in the best way that I can. Not as well as like the actual doctors saving lives, but like,
mm.
hey, if I can do like a really goofy performance and like distract somebody for a little bit,
Yeah, dude.
that'd be cool too.
That's such a classic thing I feel like with actors. It's so easy to like self-deprecate on it and say that our
Hmm.
job is useless and meaningless and
Yeah,
doesn't matter when especially the pandemic's happening and people are
yeah.
actually on the line. But dude, storytelling has been around for so long and it's so
Hmm.
influential and it's so important. Like I wouldn't genuinely never forget one of my driving forces to being a storyteller. It was like a
Hmm.
year or two, or when the first Ghostbusters, like the newer version with Paul Rudd came out, the first
Yeah.
Ghostbusters came out. My mom saw it and I was just like in the kitchen cooking and she came in, dude. I'm just so excited and just telling me everything that happened. And I had actually seen the movie before her.
Yeah.
And the energy of the enjoyment and her talking about how funny it was and Paul Rudd and just telling me this beautiful arc and I was just like I remember sitting there watching her just being and smiling and being like I want to
Hmm.
remember this moment because this is how I want people to feel, like I
Yeah.
want people to experience that. And
Oh
life
yeah.
is just like sucking the bone marrow out of us. Like we get to put it back in people, as
Hmm.
storytellers. And then we can educate, we can change perspectives, change and influence in so many different capacities, depending on certain projects that we do. And it's such an incredible medium. And then also bringing people together,
Hmm.
theater. It's stand up, the intention of getting people to laugh. Like we're moving emotions, we're moving molecules in the body. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Osmosis Jones, yeah. But
I love
exactly.
osmosis.
Yes.
What did you for like actors, what did you learn throughout those 2 years of conservatory that
Mm.
served you?
We so um there were a lot of different like acting courses. And it was just acting, pure acting and theater. So I didn't have to take a math class, thank God.
Hey.
Uh but like I had to do dance class and I do singing class and that's terrifying because I didn't really I freestyle dance, but
Mhm,
no kind of like actual, oh, I have to be good at this dance, I'll just like get down boogie with it, but not like a
mhm.
real dance. And with singing, yeah, it was like purely shower, no real singing either. So I had to really step out of my comfort zone for that. And I had to be okay with not being the best there and just kind of just enjoy it. which was really hard because I really wanted to impress everyone and be cool and all this sort of thing. But once I let that go and just kind of like recognize it's all right if I'm a B plus dancer, I can focus my attention some other places and just move on. That was good. I mean, it's with especially with singing, because I did like a lot of choir growing up because my parents were basically like, hey, you're gonna be doing normal class, but make sure you do kind of a performance like class.
Mm,
And because they're both speakers, and so they're constantly on the stage and wanted my brother and I to kind of also be okay with being on a stage. And so I was doing a lot of singing and and stuff like that in choirs, but never like by myself. And there were like a bunch of mean bullies in choir growing up that would be like, "Oh, Alex, you're doing such a good job singing," and then would like snicker to their friends, and I'm like, "What? What? So am I not
wait.
doing good?" Super insecure about my singing. So when I learned how to take a singing class in school, I was like, "Oh shit, that's not good."
Yeah.
But it helped me grow a lot. Still can't really sing, and what's hilarious is like I learned a lot about singing. Still don't know how to read sheet music, but the thing is like my choir or the teacher there helped me a lot and was super cool dude. But at the end of the day, he was like, "Hey, Alex, I'm gonna be honest with you. It would be not be beneficial to your career to try and be a singer." I was like, "Whoa!" And at first that hurt because I was like, "Oh, I'm not good at this. This sucks." But then I realized I was like, "No, he's telling me that I'm. It's okay to like everything and to know what you're good at and move on from there." And like thought about it and like some of my acting idols like Matt Damon. He's like I don't know if I've ever seen him sing. He could be an amazing singer,
Yeah.
but he knows that that's not his thing. And so he's
Hmm.
like, I'm gonna be Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let this other dude sing and they're gonna be perfect and they'll be great at it. And so at first I was like, oh dude, that sucks. I'm not good enough. But then it was like, no, I can just take my talents elsewhere and let other people be amazing at it, and I can support them. But yeah, the
Hmm.
acting school was really good. I learned a lot, met a lot of amazing people, and being from Iowa was great. It was a great place to grow up, but to get to move to a place like LA where there's just constant like culture shock, some bad, some really good, but just to meet a bunch of new people from all around the world, different experiences, different lifestyles, and to really like love and appreciate them and learn who they are was really cool. And
Hmm.
yeah, I'm super grateful to have gone there to meet everyone and to kind of be like, um, yeah, because I was really excited about acting and everything. And there's this sort of like humbling that happens when you go to an acting school
Hmm.
because you're immediately like, oh, okay. Everybody kind of has a similar dream. Everybody kind of is like, I want to be the best. I want to be the best I can be. And so the quicker you learn to humble yourself and be like, no, I'm here to learn from others. I'm not here to show anybody what I can do. The faster I was able to learn.
Hmm.
And it was just really cool to learn from all the teachers and all the other students and stuff. So yeah, I really loved my time there at the school and yeah, it was great. So, but now I'm just out here trying to survive and
Hmm.
do all the work. So
Yeah. And what was, because
yeah.
I feel like Ashton Kutcher also was born in Iowa and
Yeah.
then went to LA. So what was that? Was it primarily a country or like suburban lifestyle?
My grandparents are in the country and like I'd go see them on the farm and stuff, but my I grew up in like a suburb area,
Hmm.
very just like calm, not a lot of crazy going on. So then to move out to LA where there's like a dude with machete at Chick-fil-A and that's just a Tuesday, you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, am I in the right place? Did I make a mistake? My parents cry every day, I think, but they're still really supportive. But my brother's in the military and I'm in LA and my mom's like, what did I do wrong? What? Why? Why
Yeah.
are they in the most dangerous things? But yeah, it was yeah, I didn't even know like drugs really existed. Like I thought that was like a movie thing. So then to come out here and be like, people do that? What is that? What is
Hmm.
that? Um, like the culture shock was crazy. And but now I'd say I'm pretty used to it. Like anytime I have friends and family that come visit, of course something like insane happens or like somebody will come up and draw like some sort of demonic symbol on somebody's car or like offer to sell them a bag of rats or something like that and I'm
Yeah.
like dude that doesn't happen to me when it's just me like I swear it's just because they know you're here and Um, but yeah, I've come to learn to love LA for what it is and kind of appreciate it as a different animal than
Hmm.
Iowa was.
Yeah,
And
embrace it.
every time I get to go home to Iowa, I get to breathe a little bit, and enjoy that. But there is a part of me that just like is addicted to how creative and like exciting LA is. And
Mm,
I'm not like a party person. That's not really my thing. So it's not like I'm addicted to that at all. It's just more of just the creative starvation and hub out here that just drives people to do stuff and create. It's really cool to be around and to watch people's careers grow. Like it was
hmm.
really cool. I got to go to a friend's birthday party um a long time ago when I kind of just moved out to LA, and it was like a big party. I think they were turning 30 or something. So they were like, and they went to the acting school, but they were just like really excited, want to make it big. So they brought a comedian there, and he was just like in the backyard, kind of on the mic. The mic kind of was like breaking a little bit. And it was and it was like it was cool. It was like funny or whatever. But then just recently, I saw that this comedian is now doing like headlines, and he was just at Netflix as a joke.
Wow.
And so it's really cool to see, I don't know the guy and he doesn't
Hmm.
know me, but to kind of see people's careers grow, even in just the short time period that I've been here, it's really exciting. So to see then my friends are like in movies now and on TV and stuff like that and doing plays, it's exciting to be around. And I don't think I could ever leave that. And if I had to, it'd be really sad. But yeah,
Yeah.
out here
Like
it's crazy. It's good. But
it's cool
yeah.
because you're like closer to that world that you want to be a part of. I was like, I
Yeah.
I don't think I had actually been in the same room as a celebrity until I was like 2 years ago. Like
Mm,
it was
yeah.
never, and in LA, like you just randomly bump into people all the time, and
Yeah.
it's like that person's kind of like adjacently one step close to like this thing that you want to do, and it's like from my suburban house, like all I see on my only reference point is seeing them on a big screen, which feels so
Hmm.
far and not real. And then you're like,
Yeah.
seeing real life, like this is real,
Yeah.
it's tangible, it's
It's
possible. So
wild.
it's
Yeah,
really
no,
cool.
it's crazy. It's like when you see a celebrity or something, it's like for me, oh, I just kind of get this like vertigo where it's like like it's like,
Yeah,
oh, their face goes from the big screen to just a normal person, and
right.
it takes like a second to be like, oh yeah, that's just a dude. And he's
Yeah.
just going to Target and he needs shampoo. It's like it's just weird. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So now I want to, because we know to beat around the bush. Like Alex Matthews, like you're a funny dude. You're a funny dude. And and it feels like comedy comes super naturally to you. And I'd love
Mm,
to just hear your relationship with comedy,
mm,
because it's so nuanced. And I always like breaking down comedy. There's very different specific kinds of comedy. And you can even like talk about a little bit about the stand up that you've done. Um,
mm.
but what like were you a class clown when you were younger? What is your relationship with comedy?
It's it's funny you say the class clown thing because like I legit was probably the quietest kid in the room.
Mhm.
Like, and I was scared to talk to people. I was scared to be myself. Yeah, I was like just I like knowing myself now. I'm not as introverted as I thought I was, but one could say I was introverted growing up. Um, but there were pockets that I remember of time where I would make people laugh, and it felt really good as a kid
Mhm.
who was really quiet and wanted to be seen, but was too scared to do anything about it. Like one specific moment I remember is like I was in fifth grade and we were going around the room and having to read different parts of a book. It was about like the Oregon Trail, and at one point I had to read a part about a horse, and as I read the horse part, like I made a really terrible neighing sound, like, and the
Mhm.
whole class like laughed. And that feeling of like, oh, this is kind of, that was great. I want to do that again. Like, and so then when I read the part again, I made the horse sound. Nobody really laughed. I was like, oh, what did I do wrong? Like it worked before. What?
Mhm.
Um, and I was like, oh, maybe okay, maybe I'm not that funny. Um, but looking back, I'm like, well, dude, yeah, you reused the same joke. Of course, it's not gonna be very funny. But those just moments of like realizing that I loved making people laugh and I enjoyed the feeling of that. It really sparked into yeah, what I do now. I mean, I'm just starting to do stand up, which has been really fun.
Mhm.
I just wrote my a second set, so I'm excited to do that soon. And I do a skit comedy show with my friends on YouTube, which you helped with. Which thank you for
Unearthed.
that.
Got that on the
Unearthed
list.
tapes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Yeah, my friend Jake and Mason. Um, it's on YouTube. We got like, 300 subscribers, so it's still
Wow.
small, but yeah, we try and put out a video every like month or so, and yeah, it's just I felt like I loved making people laugh as I grew up more and more and became more comfortable with myself and who I was. And I really credit my friend in middle school. His name is Toby, and he's from the Philippines, and he was a missionary there. So I only got to really hang out with him for like a year. But he was super goofy, was super himself, and was just fine with being himself. And I really admired that about him. And so after, he left, I kind of was like, I want to be more like Toby. I want to be more myself. And so, yeah, I just kind of gave up on trying to be quiet and just kind of slowly
Mm-hmm.
became more like extroverted, hanging out with people. Throughout all of school, like even though I was super quiet, didn't really want anybody to see me, I wore these like instead of regular glasses, I wore these sports goggle glasses. The glasses you're supposed to
Mm-hmm.
wear when you're doing soccer or something. But like even as a young kid, I knew that like even though I like weirdly didn't want to be seen by anyone, didn't want to talk to anyone, at the same time, I really wanted people to notice me and like have
Mm-hmm.
that attention that we actors just crave. And so I wore these goofy goggles. I don't know why. Like because I was like I wanted to, yeah, I just wanted to stand out or didn't want to just be the normal like glasses wearing kid. And so I wore those for a long time until like ninth grade. But yeah, like I felt like it's sort of like learning more about myself now. It's like as I really love making people laugh, and I also just want to be seen in a way that like I can make people laugh, and maybe they can see themselves through what I do, whether I'm performing or just like doing stand-up jokes or whatever, just to kind of like see like, okay, I'm not very comfortable with myself, or I'm not very confident, or I'm very quiet and I don't know how to like talk with people, and it's like I've been there and anybody can grow from that and become who they want to be. So I hope that like more people can grow in that world just because I was able to, and it was really hard, but
Mm-hmm.
to kind of be more confident now and yeah, be willing to put myself out there is helped me a lot as a person. So
Absolutely. And
yeah.
what has the so there's a very different kind of I guess work that goes involved, and it's a different style of comedy from
Hmm.
being funny on camera and being
Hmm.
funny on stage with a set through stand up.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
they're very different because I find stand up I got so much respect for people who do stand up because it's so vulnerable, it's really you up there and um when you're acting, which you can still like act as you do stand up, but when you're playing a character, you're playing a character and you can disappear. So you don't
Hmm.
really have to fully identify yourself with what you're doing. So it's like a scapegoat in a way. But doing stand up, it's really you up there, man. And either it lands or it doesn't. And what kind of like challenges or obstacles are just the difference between the two have you found from doing stand up?
Yeah, well, to start off, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I've just started and like even just comedy, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm growing more and like becoming more confident. But
Mm-hmm.
the to go from yeah, learning how to be funny on camera to then stage, yeah, it was crazy. But like a lot of my comedy idols like um I realized do stand up and that's kind of where maybe some of them came from. And they also talk about that stand up is one of the hardest things that you can do as a performer. And I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so if I'm able to do that,
Yep.
then, there's no limit. And so I was like, I should just do it. And so yeah, I mean, you're up there and a joke doesn't land and it's quiet and it's awkward and you just keep rolling, keep moving with it. I mean, my very first joke that I did, it was really stupid. Um, but it was just like I had a friend come up on stage with me to hold I had like a song to play, and instead of giving it to the guy in the studio, I had them like use my phone and press play and like hold in the microphone while I acted out the thing. And all it was like it was a song that was just like really goofy playing, and while the song was playing, I was pretending to be a man choking on ice. And so for like 5 seconds, I'm like, and then like 5 seconds in, I'm like, oh wait, nope, we're good. It melted. And like, it's a funny-ish joke, but like the crowd is just quiet, so quiet after. And that was my very first joke from my very first time doing stand-up. And I was like, oh fuck, like this is so hard. What the shit? So then I was like, okay, thank you. But like when he played the song, like I didn't turn the volume up enough, so like the sound wasn't quite working. So it was a mess.
Mm,
But for that to be the very first thing that happened, it was like a make or break moment of like, all right, you could quit right now. You
mhm,
just be like, all right, thank you. I'm good. Like this was great. I don't even need to perform. But then I was like, nope, just finish what you wrote, finish what you did. Um, and I got a lot of laughs from it. It was a lot of my friends, so I haven't done stand up in front of people that are like don't know me at all. So I haven't had that experience yet. I'm excited for that. But yeah, no, it is truly terrifying. I felt like I was just like this is what I have. Here you go. And then to be accepted for that was cool. Um and like yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know if that was like if I'm gonna do stand up 3 times in my whole life, but to just like do it a couple times and to kind of grow in that area has been fun. But yeah, it's there are a lot of moments in life and like especially as a performer where it won't go right away and you'll be faced with a choice of do I continue or do I give up? And it's a lot easier to give up, but
mm.
it's more painful in the long run to give up.
Yeah.
Because I think if I would have left and been like, actually, I'm good. I'm gonna sit down. This was nice. It would have hurt, later on to be like, well, no, I practice and practice. I could have done it. Could have seen what happens, and I'm glad I did. So
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
Awesome, brother. Awesome.
yeah.
Now, for the people who don't know, like you're a performer, you're a natural performer,
Mhm.
but you're also like a very talented writer as well.
Oh boy.
And you did this little thing, and not just like a little thing, it was like a pretty big thing, and like started a series, a book,
Mhm.
like 300 plus pages. It's called Waking Up, one and two,
Mhm.
one's summer, one's winter. And bro, I'm in awe. I like met you and I found out about it and I read it and I'm like, what? This is crazy. This is crazy. So did performance come first? Did writing come first? Are they just intermixed? Do you like where does writing play a part in your creative process? Or just
Yeah. Well, thank you for reading them, by the way. It's like there's such a like it's like a little thing. It's a goofy. It's like it's coming of age horror as I call it, but it's like it's just zombie books with like comic book like character kind of vibes.
mm,
Um
mm,
but yeah, it intermixes like as far as being a writer and being a performer as far as storytelling goes and learning how to tell a story. And when you're playing a character on screen, you're learning more about them. And when you're writing about a character, you have an idea of who they are. And by the end of writing the book, you're like, oh, this person turned out to be this person and this person. And it's really cool. Like the characters that I write in my books are just like pieces of people and then myself sprinkled throughout. Um, and it's cool to like reflect and be like, oh wow, this character that I've written has turned out to be this kind of person that's been in my life.
mm-hmm,
Which we do as performers as well. It's like, oh, this character is just like my cousin. I'm gonna be my cousin,
mm.
and it's cool. um but yeah, no, it's the waking up series is more of like a creative outlet for me. Because yeah, it's like I'm not changing the book game, it's zombie books, but it's certainly like it's a place for me to write crazy stories, and they're all based on dreams that I had growing up. And so I just wrote down the dreams and turned it into stories and turn them into characters and stuff like that. But
Yeah, like that's no
yeah,
big deal. Like that's the coolest thing ever. Like
isn't that
you
nuts?
you
Yeah,
dream you had recurring dreams of these
yeah,
characters, like of these
yeah.
moments in this book.
Yeah, no, there's a scene in the books where like the zombies are coming through the city, and this guy named King shows up and saves everyone. And in my dreams, I was like panicking, running around my house. Zombies were showing up, and my brother got bit and it was really messed up. And then King showed up in my driveway and saved me. And then next night I had another similar dream. Things were happening, but King was there. It was like really weird. Like I've never met this dude in my
Mhm.
life, but these characters were in my dreams and these scenarios were playing out in sequential order. And so when I told my parents about it, it was like for 2 weeks. And then I told my parents about it, and they were like, "You should probably write that down." And I was like, "Okay." Wrote it down, made an outline of all the things that happened. It was like I was like in a police file. Like I had to like figure out the case of like, okay, what happened, who was all there. And I was like, oh wow, this could be kind of a fun book series. And so the first one I wrote when I was in like early high school, middle school. So I'd be working on the third one now as I'm like older in my almost mid 20s. It's kind of a cool
Mm-hmm.
process to kind of see how I wrote in middle school, high school compared to now and kind of the growth. I mean, the other thing about the book series is like when I first published the first one, I sent my publisher uh the wrong file. And so this version of the book was released that was like a it was basically full of spelling errors. It was the one that I had
Early
been
draft.
worked on for a long time ago, but somehow I had sent them that file, and so it was just full of errors. And just knowing that there's like I didn't realize that was the file that was released until I got the book, and I had ordered the book like the same time all my friends and family did. So there are 70 copies of this book in the world where I don't know the difference between there, and there. Like I have like spelling errors up the wazoo. It is the most embarrassing thing ever, but to kind of be like accept that that's out there, that people recognize that I'm human and make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I really appreciate. But it is like there's things that happen. I mean, it's the same thing with the stand-up thing. It's like the first joke didn't land. It's like this first time I released a book, it's full of spelling errors. It's the wrong version I didn't want to send out. I have a version that I really like, and it didn't get sent out. And and
Mm-hmm.
the online version, it was updated. It's cool, but there are 70 copies of this book where I'm just an awful speller, and I like don't have good structure in the book and all this sort of stuff. And I just have to accept that and be okay with it, and just know that there's people that have these books and it's okay. And um, yeah, I mean, performing, you have that happen too. So you
Mm-hmm.
just kind of learn and move on and stuff like that. But yeah, these books are they're sort of my creative outlet because there's a lot of performing where we don't get to decide. A director's like, no, you're like this. You're British. You're not from New York. You have to speak like this. You're like, okay, okay. I really disagree, but that's okay. That's okay. That's what you want. With these books, though, it's like, no, I could. This character lives. This character dies. This character has a child, and you're like, whoa. And this is all like stuff that I wanted to create. And so, basically, every time a director is like, no, you're gonna do it like this, it sucks. So then I just go home and write like this zombie did this because I wanted them to. And like it's kind of a nice way to like still be an artist where I tell my own story how I want to when
Mm-hmm.
other people tell you you can't do it the way you want to. So
Yeah, we have
yeah,
like no control in this industry, so the
no.
small things that we can control, it feels really nice.
Yeah, it's really not. Yes.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah, that's good.
also just going back, I think the majority of successful people in life have gone through those beginning hiccups because that's how you
Mhm.
grow. That's how you learn like exponentially faster versus
Mhm.
having everything smooth sailing. And I think there have been many examples of people who get like it's easy in the beginning and then they don't have the tools, they don't have the
Mhm.
resilience for when it gets hard because it's always going to be up and down.
Mhm.
That when it gets hard, then it's like
Mhm.
so I think the grits, the grinding, the overcoming the obstacles, it all serves, dude. And I feel like
Mhm.
truly everyone I look up to has been through stuff like that, and we're so much better off for it too, to be able to like face true discomfort, which is like being naked on stage, something
Yeah.
not landing, silence for 5 seconds, feeling like 20 minutes, and
Yeah.
having the courage to push through is like that's what makes greatness, truly, and just getting comfortable with that
Mhm.
discomfort. So you're on the path, brother. You're on the path.
We're on it.
Now, so we have performance, Alex,
Mhm.
and then we also have writing, Alex, and now it's
Yeah.
like birthed into Unearthed Tapes, which is you, and you even like wrote your own stuff before, right, with your brother,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
your friends in high school, but now Unearthed is like really taken off, and
Mhm.
it's a combination of having that kind of control to be able to write and also
Mhm.
improvise and have the freedom to play the characters that you want to play, act it, write it, bring it all together. So tell us, what is Unearthed Tapes or just writing your own stuff producing, editing,
Yeah.
all of that. What has that meant to you, and what is that like?
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. Under Tapes is this sketch show that we have on YouTube, kind of explained a little bit before, but we basically it's my friends Mason, Jake, and I, and we all met at ADA, the acting school, and we all have kind of a similar sense of humor that's just kind of crazy, it's over the top, it's making fun of everyone, it's poking the bear, and sort of kind of trying to bring comedy back to the way it was. It's sort of the idea of Under the Tapes is these guys that found these videotapes that were buried in the ground. We bring them up out of the ground and put them in the TV and show you just like weird stuff. It's like, and so we just felt like a lot of comedies felt off, and we kind of wanted to do our own thing and make it what we want it to be. And yeah, it's gonna offend some people, but everything offends people, so it's okay. We can all learn to figure it out. But
Mhm.
so yeah, there's some sketches where people probably want to kill us, like we make fun of Taylor Swift, and we're probably gonna get killed. All love to the fan base,
I
but
love the
yeah,
Swifties.
we had to go there. And so yeah, we started a little over a year ago, and we involve all of our friends from acting school to come help us. Sometimes I'll be running the camera, sometimes Mason is, sometimes Jake is. We're all writing it, we're all trying to act in it. We'll have wacky characters that like we're like hopefully one day we'll put on a t-shirt and sell online and stuff like that. But you know, it's a great like combination of me getting to perform something that I got to write with my friends, and it's always awesome because we'll write a script that's pretty bare bones, and we get to the set, which is usually set being our living room or like somebody's random bedroom, and we got like Cheez-Its and pretzels for crafty and stuff. But yeah, the performers will all just make it so much more funnier. The people that we ask to help out, they'll just bring something to it that just makes it even better. And yeah, no, it's been awesome. It's been really fun. The hard part is just like starting a sketch comedy show on YouTube and just finding that group of people that actively likes what we do. And it's not like we have like a cooking show where it's like vegan cooking and people are like, oh, I need that, and I need to learn how to make this cool carrot cake. For us it's like, do you want to watch this dude like burp really loud and make a poop joke, and people are like, you need to grow up, dude. Or like, it's just kind of like, check out our stuff. It's not going to help you survive, but it might make you laugh for a second. And it's just hard to grow in that, but consistency is key with us, and we're just trying to stay
Mhm.
on that path, and yeah, offend as many people as possible. So,
Mhm. But I think like that kind of slapstick comedy, like the like Step Brothers, things like that,
hmm
where it's like it's not making you like a better person, but like it brings people
no,
together and you're all sharing laughter, which is releasing serotonin and making people feel better, like genuinely like
exactly.
saving
Yeah,
lives.
yeah,
So
that's so
it
true.
is of of good heart, good service.
hmm
Great stuff, great stuff. Now, oh, and I also wanted to, I think it's also a great time because with acting, I want to talk about the space in between gigs. So, you might be doing
hmm
commercials, you might be doing like TV stuff and film stuff. But the times in between that I find are so pivotal for mental health as
hmm
actors in creating sustainability. And so Unearthed is such an amazing tool because it allows you in those in between times to stay creative. But I also want to know what other things you do in the time in between to fill your cup up.
Yeah. It is hard. It is tough because you want to be consistently working and be like Zendaya or Timothy Chalamet and just be
Como
constantly
te-
doing stuff. And it's like when we're at this level, it's hard to be that consistent, and it's easy to kind of look at people like that and be like, what am I doing wrong? But everybody's here, everybody's been there. And it's good to kind of learn, what do you do in these in betweens. And so I'm slowly learning to figure out how to do that. So it's writing, it's putting these sketches together, it's stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's I've been doing a lot of reading and stuff. We both love Matthew McConaughey, so I've started reading Green Light.
Oh,
Hell
is
yeah,
this the first
brother.
time you read it?
This is first
Give
time,
us give
brother.
us a little Maca. Yeah, give us some.
Yes. I don't know, what do I say? What do I say? What's something
Uh,
Matthew would say?
Give me an all right.
All right, all right, all right.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah,
He's
just
good.
go, baby. Dude, if I could do the whole podcast like Matthew, that'd be awesome. I think my whole life would be better if I was Matthew.
I'm going to in the show notes put the I forget the name of that short that you did that you showed me where you were like inspired by
oh, that's
it was actually such a meta like
yes.
interest like cool concept of the whole
Yes.
short it was amazing.
Yeah, I'm trying. Well, I don't even remember what it's called to be honest. But yeah, that was one of the short films that my brother and my friend Allison and I we worked on together in high school. What was it
Mhm.
show? Something about the show? Stealing the Show. That it is. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
send you the link. But
yes.
no, yeah, I basically played Matthew McConaughey as a director in that.
Mhm.
And but anyway, yeah, no, it's yeah, I've been
Yeah, it's a
reading
great
more.
book.
It's really good. Especially for performers who are just trying to
Mhm.
figure out their life and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, no, it's there's a lot of things to do in LA, but it also can be a very like lonely place, like worth it doesn't feel like there's things going on, so it's good to try and kind of stay busy and go see friends and journal and write and stuff like that. And to not put self-worth in what you're doing, but who you are. And kind of accept who you are and grow there as opposed to try and figure out who you are based on the projects you've done. Because if I were to do that, I'd be like, dude, that's cringe. Like the stuff that I've like worked on, I'm like, oh god. Which I'm really thankful for all the projects I've been part of. But like, if I based my soul worth in the random student film I did, or the puppet show I did as a little kid, like, and who am I? But just these projects.
Mhm.
So I try to just like accept myself for just being me. That then I'm excited to be part of these other things, but that I'm
Mhm.
not who I am because I'm part of this or that. So
Yeah, you don't
yeah.
identify with the results. That is a road towards a lot of pain and suffering.
Oh yeah. We've been
Enjoy the
there.
ride, baby.
Yep.
So kind of along those lines, I feel like every actor, performer, honestly, every human at this point deals with this little thing called imposter syndrome.
Hmm.
And do you find in some of the stuff that you've done, does that creep in at all?
Yeah, every day. Every day I'm like, what? No, no, I truly believe I have no idea what I'm doing. But the more I realize that nobody has any idea what they're doing, it's kind of nice. I mean, it is scary when you're like politicians have no idea what they're doing. They're
Uh,
like, "We're running the world, and we have no idea what's going on." You're like, "Oh shit." But at more of my level, I'm learning to be okay with it. I have no idea what I'm doing. It's hard to not compare. It's like my parents were married by the time they were my age, and
mhm,
it's hard to be like, oh, well, I'm nowhere near that. And there's a lot of things it's easy to compare um, and feel like when you are doing something, it's like, well, I'm an actor. I'm going to go do this on set. And it's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, shit. Are they going to be able to tell? No, they're not thinking about you at all. They're thinking about
mhm,
the fact that they have no idea what they're doing. And I don't know. I just realized there's been a lot of moments where I'm like, just really loving accepting people who they are in their moments. I mean, whether it's just somebody that's like just being awesome and I'm like I'm excited for them and they're doing great things. Or it's like as I'm looking for a new house and stuff and I was on tour with a realtor and she was just very just like flustered.
mhm,
And I was just like, this is the bathroom. Here's the toilet, the shower. And I was just like, are you doing okay?
mhm,
She's just like, uh, yeah, no. I was like, okay, I just want to make sure you're okay. Cause like we're all human. We're all trying to figure this out. So it's okay to like to not have this facade of like, I know what I'm doing. This is the thing. This is the thing. It's like it's okay sometimes to be just be like, no, I'm not all right.
mhm,
um, and as I'm like navigating LA kind of on my own and stuff like that, I'm just learning to appreciate that with the friends that I have to be seen by them when I'm not doing okay and to see them when they're not doing okay and to kind of let go of that like I have to be this, I have to be that in front of all these people, just kind of be who you are. It's a lot more grounding and it builds confidence to just kind of accept where you are. And so yeah, I feel a lot of imposter syndrome, but at the same time I'm trying to let go of that and just be like, well, if this person cast me, they want me here. Or if this person was like, do you want to hang out? They're not doing that because they lost the bet presumably. It's
Mhm.
like they want to know me, want to get to know me. So
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
like you've done this like we're all still super new at this, but you've been doing this for a long time. Like you do know what you're doing. Even though like there's each set is so different, like there's a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
think the not knowing and also I think the fear of getting into it is like
Mm-hmm.
so necessary. I think McConaughey talks about it. I know I
Mm-hmm.
listened to a podcast of him recently saying like if it doesn't scare him, like why do it? Like that's why I just
Mm-hmm.
stopped doing rom-coms because he's like I can do that tomorrow. I want to do something
Yeah,
that like, scares me to my bones,
yeah,
and
yeah,
and so I think that's really important and just like having the self-confidence and the self-worth to be like, no, dude, I know what I'm doing. If I don't know what I'm doing, like I'll ask, but
yeah.
like and also you put the hard work in, you do the work, the preparation, so
Mm-hmm.
when you get on set, you're like a joy to work with
Mm-hmm.
and I think we experienced this on a little film, called The Vampire Next Door in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hey,
So transition.
shout out.
Shout out to the New Zealand Sun Films and production company, the squad of Sean and Taylor
Yes.
King. So the I don't even have a question here. I just wrote down Vampire Next Door and I just want to talk about
What
it
is
because
that?
this
What is
is
that
for
movie?
anyone who doesn't know, this is where I met this man, this human
This
creative
creature.
genius. And it was I'll just say because actually I just want to hear your experience, what it was like from getting this like the audition
Hmm.
to auditioning to getting it to flying out because you went from West Coast to East Coast and then
Yeah.
you're also the lead, so you're there for the longest period of time with everyone, So what was
Yeah.
that whole journey like?
It was really cool. To be completely candid, I was in a Starbucks writing my zombie books because I was like, blah, 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 I want to write something today. And I got like brain, brain block or whatever. And so I just was scrolling through and submitting myself to different things and submitted to one of their films and they contacted me that day and they were like, "Hey, are you available to audition tomorrow?" I was like, "Oh, okay." And they wound up sending me the sides for Vampire Next Door, and I read with Jessica, who was the lead vampire.
You read with
I
Jess
did, yeah, and I
before for
was
the
like,
audition, dude.
yeah,
That's
that was my audition. Was I was just doing scenes with her, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then the next day, they were like, "Hey, we thought a lot about it. We watched your reel. We watched your scene with Jessica. We really like you. We've been looking for this part for a while. We almost thought about not doing this film because we couldn't find the right guy." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And they're like, "Do you want to be in it?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Let's do it." And they're like, "All right, great. Read the full script and we'll do da 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 da." And I was like, "Oh shit!" It was like what, 80, 90 pages, and I was like, "Uh-oh, this is not just like a student film. This is a whole feature film.
when
These
did
guys put
they
movies on what?"
when was the first day of shooting from when you got it?
I basically had 2 weeks of prep, um, which I don't know if that's normal. I don't know if it's short, longer, whatever. But that was my first feature movie, so I had no
Mhm.
idea. And so I was memorizing as fast as I could, learning about Cameron, and the more and more I read about Cameron, the more I was like, "Uh-oh, this guy's just me." So I was like, "This is gonna be a lot easier than I expected." And I'm actually really grateful that the first character that I got to play for my first feature film was very similar as far as just kind of like weird, is in love with every girl he sees, is just like doesn't know what's going on in life, just kind of like I was really thankful that like that could be my first character as opposed to like some like genius scientist. Like if I played like Albert Einstein my first role, I'd be like, I have no
Mhm.
idea what I'm doing.
Mhm.
But to be able to do that and kind of pull a lot from just who I was really fun. And yeah, so I basically had 2 weeks to figure it all out and then flew out and met everyone. And then you came in, was it 2 weeks in or was it a weekend or
I
trying to
don't
remember the
remember when I
timeline.
think I don't know. I just know I was there for 10 days. I think it was like
Yeah,
somewhere in the middle.
dude, it was awesome. Dude, we shared a room and like
Shared a room.
it was so fun.
We shared the coolest freaking room.
It was awesome.
Like
It was like full of like Star Wars props. There's a real R2D2 in there. Dude, that was sick. And like I just remember like we'd be like, "All right, good night, dude." It was like 3 in the morning. We'd film it all day, and you're like, "Good night, good night." And then like
yeah.
3 seconds, it was just like the
Just start
little
laughing.
yeah, and then we started laughing and just joking around. But no, dude, it was such an awesome first film experience, and like we probably won't ever have anything like it. We stayed in the same house with the crew and just lived with them, for a long time and got to know them that way, which was
Hmm.
really, really cool. Um, but yeah, no, it
Yeah,
was it was awesome.
I love it because it's like you have like that one experience where it's like so kindred and so connected and so alive, and you're like, this is how they all are, you know?
Yeah.
So much joy and fun, and
Yeah.
like, dude, like for me, it like opened up my like soul a little bit, like because my character was so goofy where I was like channeling really my middle school self, and then also like
Mhm.
sharing rooms with you, and then us having like a young giggly bubbly kind of relationship even on
Yeah.
camera but also like off. I like it like opened up something for me, bro. It was like
Hmm.
medicine. I always say it was like the best vacation, like no matter how the film did,
Hmm.
and the box office numbers, I'm like it was worth every second of it just because like I
Yeah.
would do this for free, like
Yeah.
it was so fun and such a joy.
It was, and I still have the note you gave me that's in my backpack from Jim Carrey about like
Oh
if you're gonna,
yes.
yeah, it's still in my backpack. I like will unpack my things to go to Iowa or to travel or whatever, and I'll like be unpacking. I'll be like, oh, here's a note, read it, then put it back in. So, no, I love getting to work with you, and I loved getting to meet everyone, and yeah, it was such a good experience, and like we filmed, let's see, what was it last year? April, May, March? It
Mm,
was in spring.
March or
I think it was
April.
maybe March.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like end of March going into April or something. But
Mm.
yeah, so a little over a year ago, but I still think about it all the time and yeah, it's crazy. It was awesome.
Yeah,
So
it was a
go
good
stream.
first. Yeah,
Go
that's
stream
right.
Vampire Next Door.
Check it out. I think it's on Tubi now, and it's on a
Oh,
bunch of different
sick.
smaller streamings, but it's also on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So make sure to send some love to the boys,
Yes.
and possibly stay tuned because we might be doing a little something extra with our characters because they're so just the best. They're the
It's the
best.
best on our tapes.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes. Yes. All right. Now, I had a question here just because I was curious because I actually follow your
Mhm.
dad on Instagram and he's like a cool dude.
Mm,
Your
yeah.
dad's a life coach, right?
Yes.
And you said your mom is also a speaker.
Hmm.
Does she do this similar work as well?
She works more in the church, but they both are constantly on stage speaking and like talking to large groups of people and helping people one on one. So,
Yeah. So what
yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted to ask you, what is it like to have a dad who's a life coach? Like, does he life coach you? And is it like,
yeah,
yeah, stop, or is it like,
yeah,
thank you?
yeah, yeah. No, it's really funny. It's like we're my brother and I both, my brother's more of a screenwriter, filmmaker. He's starting to do a little bit of acting such fun, which is fun. To
Hey.
see him try that out, which is great. And then like I'll ask him for writing tips because he's a really good writer and really knows how to put a script together.
Mhm,
We're very artsy and stuff like that, but we both are going after what we wanted to do. Um, and so my parents are big advocates for going out and doing what you want to do, and it's part of my dad's business is to help people find what they want to do.
mhm,
Whether they feel like they're stuck in their career or they're growing their business, he helps them navigate that. And so if my parents were like, "Nah, you're gonna be an accountant, dude," I'd be like, "This goes against your brand, and I'm gonna
yeah.
blackmail you." Um, but no, it is pretty funny to have like parents that are constantly working with people and helping them grow because as their kids were constantly asking for their guidance and help with that stuff, and so it's awesome to be able to come to them with that, and they never treat us like we're clients but
Mhm,
there is sometimes that feeling of like it does feel like they're like just kind of teaching us like a life moment. And it's like, no, dude, I just wanted to like just
mhm.
like get your dad opinion on it or your mom opinion on it.
Yeah.
And they did an amazing job raising us, so I have no complaints. But yeah, it's just it is a little weird sometimes for me like to see because I also do a lot of editing for my dad and I'm like part of his
Oh yeah.
business and
Oh, that's awesome.
help him and stuff like that in that area. So to be constantly like editing on the computer, watching my dad do like a talk or like do a podcast episode and be like, I know when he's in Mitch Matthews mode, and then I
Mm,
know when he's in just dad mode.
mhm,
So, um, yeah, no, and I know for me too, I do the same thing where I know I'm like in performance Alex mode, and then I'm just sometimes just Alex mode, and so
mhm.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's good, it's cool. So
that's awesome.
yeah,
Now, I got the last thing here before we dive into the future part of this episode.
oh
Um,
boy.
genre. I'm always fascinated by genre, and I always think
Mm,
just um like because you have your own kind of like sensibility as to what you like, but like growing up, were there certain films that infused
mm-hmm.
like certain an affinity for a certain type of genre?
Mm-hmm. Flushed away. Really.
Dude, I literally had on my I was going to do it, but I didn't do it. On my
What?
final cues, which I'm about to do in a couple of minutes, where I just
Yeah.
like rattle off questions. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, where's my car? Or flushed away. That was gonna be the
Bro, we
question.
already know the answer. Actually, dude, where's my car is really good though. So that's a tough question,
Flushed
honestly.
away
But
is all time.
Flushed Away is goaded. But no, I think honestly, like weirdly, growing up, watching a bunch of cartoons, watching a bunch of movies and stuff. Like some people be like, "Oh, you grew up with brain rot," and it's like, "No, dude, are you watching what the kids are watching today? Because that's brain
Mhm.
rot." But no, but really watching all these characters and doing all these voices and stuff like that really helped me grow and like learn that like I love that and I want to do stuff like they're doing and
Mhm.
so no, I think yeah, there's like a lot of movies now like A Knight's Tale is one of my favorite movies with Heath Ledger and
I watched like part of that the other day. It's so good.
really? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's just I love the story, I love the comedy, I love the yeah, it's just everything about it following your dreams. I cry every time he walks into his dad's
Yeah,
house and
that really hits everything, dude. That movie
every
is so
time, dude.
good.
But I love like movies like Into the Wild as well. Like I have movie
Mhm.
posters of these movies
Alexander
here and
Supertramp.
Alexander Supertrip. You're the best apple. Yeah, it's like I love that movie just because it's some dude that's just going out doing what he wants to do, try to survive, and by the end knows that he can't do it alone. And so it's always stuck with me. It's like I'm following my dreams, it's great, but I just can never isolate myself and never um like learn to work with people and love people and not push them away as best as possible. And I'm still learning to do that and I mess up sometimes. But yeah, it's just like these movies really help shape me and like how I want to be as a performer, but then also how I want to be as a person. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's been really cool. But
Yeah,
yeah,
awesome, man.
yeah,
That's awesome, man. Well, we could keep chatting for a long time, but
a
I'm
long
gonna
time.
slowly wrap it up here. So now we're in the future. So let's say you have sometimes I ask like what do you want, like what dreams, ambitions, goals, and
Hmm.
sometimes especially as actors it's so hard because we're like I want this, and then it doesn't happen, and then it's like
Yeah,
constant like da, 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 and then the weight gets so
yeah.
heavy and it's really hard. So we don't have to like put that out into the universe, but if you just have like a vision board or a mood, like, even like a mood board, like emotions that you want
Hmm.
to feel for like that future version of yourself, what would that look like?
I don't know. I think like eating 3 meals a day would be sick.
So
Like
are you eating like
consistent.
one meal a day right now?
Yeah, we're on that survival grind. No, it's just
Yeah.
like when I go back home and then we're like, oh right, like we can have a normal life. Like I feel like sometimes as artists we kind of
Mhm.
like will put the normal lifestyle of living to the side to kind of allow us to be more creative.
Mhm.
But yeah, just sort of like um one day I'd love my dream. This is like far down the line, but my dream ever since I've been a little kid is to live in a modern tree house. Um, and you know what I'm talking about? Like those like cool like cabins that like yeah, they're like literally in a tree and
Did you have a treehouse when
something
you were a kid?
no, but I'd constantly climbing up trees
Mhm.
and just would hang out there all day and I had a dream as a kid that I still really remember just owning my own tree house and having a dog and being by this shore and it was just it was it was dude
That sounds nice, bro.
there was a I specifically remember there was like a cabinet attached to the trunk. It was just full of apples. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. No doctor in sight.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was yeah, I don't know. Just I would love to find stability um and kind of a comfortability that also allows me to grow. Um and I'm working on that now, but yeah, no, it's the season of change. I'm appreciating the things that I was part of and who I was, but I'm learning to grow and be more of who I want to be and love people who they are and stuff like that. And so I'm hoping that for the future, I can learn to, yeah, see people better and love them better and kind of love myself better. And I think that'll allow me to be a funnier person, a more confident person. Um, and yeah, I'm excited. I have no idea what's happening tomorrow, next week, in a
Mm-hmm.
month. That's kind of the crazy thing about our lifestyles. You just never know what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, I'm holding on, holding loosely, and we'll see where it goes. So
I love that, man. I
yeah,
love that. Well,
yeah,
yeah, a lot of support in your corner, man. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All
yeah.
right, now I got a final to make this a professional podcast.
Yeah,
Our rapid fire questionnaire at the end. I got a buttload of questions I'm gonna throw your way, so just bing
oh
bang
snap.
bong it.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna start off really deep, but they're not all gonna be deep. I promise.
Okay.
At this moment in life, what brings you, Alice Matthews, the most joy?
Uh, honestly, my favorite thing is these YouTube compilations of newscasters failing on live television.
Dude, I remember Vampire Next Door on set. We're like going through your For You page. Like, you're so wild.
Bro, it's like it brings me so much joy because these people that are actively doing their best to do their best job, but it's on camera every day and they have to be professional.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we can be goofy on camera because that's what the scene requires, but these people have to
Right.
be like calm and collected. So anytime they have to talk about like a pig named Crispy Bacon, and he's only got two legs, and it's like, how could you not just bust out into laughing and stuff like that? I don't know.
It's
That brings
fire.
me so much joy, dude.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm like depressed or like sad or anything, I just whip up a 30-minute video of just newscasters failing. Like, and it's like, I'm sorry that I find that funny, but dude, it's hilarious. So
I love that. I love
check it
that.
out.
What is your what is your favorite part about LA?
Um, the smog, definitely. No, I would say it's the people. It's the wild, creative people. LA wouldn't be what it is without its artists. So, um, yeah, I just think I got to see one of my friends plays the other day, and it was really good. And got to see another person sing at a show, and I don't know, it's really fun seeing people grow and being excited for watching them perform and stuff like that. So, yeah, I love the people here.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome. Now you might have touched on this, but favorite film,
oh, like number one,
number one, which is impossible because like if someone asked me
brother.
that, I have different films for different genres. So
Yeah.
I have like a top five for like each one
Uh,
for each one.
uh trying to because I usually go through different like seasons where one will be my favorite over the other. Um, to, to be honest, right now in this season,
Hmm.
super bad with
I
Michael
watched Superbad like
Cera.
2 weeks ago. I swear.
Dude, I don't know. It's not gonna change the game, but it kind of did. It's just like I don't know. It's so well written and the friendships in it and like it's hilarious. Everybody in it is just so funny. And yeah, it probably didn't age well for some people, but like, dude, I just think it's so funny and like
Dude,
I relate so much to Michael Cera. So it's
yeah,
just
but you keep
yeah.
saying like it's not going to change the game, but like these
Yeah.
kind of comedies that like you are a part of and like
Mm,
that brought so much joy to so many people. Like that movie popped
so
off.
true.
That was like a
Yeah.
revelation, dude. That
Oh yeah. Oh
that
yeah.
was powerful. That was powerful.
Yeah.
Heavy
I
stuff.
think it's in top 10 of most F bombs of all
Really
time in cinema too. Like, yeah, which is crazy.
amazing.
Jonah Hill alone, I think, said like 90 million F
Yeah.
bombs. So. Love that movie.
What is your favorite book?
Favorite book. Yes, I just started Green Lights, and it's been amazing. It's opened my eyes a lot to just how to live life, how to let go of things. Um, but favorite book. To be completely honest, like whenever somebody asks me that, I don't have like a full answer, but I do always think about this book that I read growing up. It's this kid's book called Oogie Cooter. It's about this kid who's got no talent in high school. He doesn't know who he is, and then for a talent show, everybody's doing it, and so he's like, "Oh, I can't do it. I have no talent." And then at lunch, he's able to eat cheese slices to look like different states in the United States,
Real talent.
and then everybody loves him for it, and he goes on stage and he eats cheese and from different states, and he like finds that he has talent and that it's okay to like be himself, and everybody thinks he's weird at first, but then he loves himself. So I
Yeah.
always think about that book a lot. But maybe
Uh,
it's called Oogie Cooter.
is his
But
name
I don't.
Ubi Cooter? Is
Yeah.
yeah,
Oogie, Oogie, and then Cotteer.
Cotter or
Um,
Cuter? Like COO.
so it's probably Cotter, but it's funny to say Oogie
That's way better.
Cooter. Might be
Um,
wrong, but yeah, it's I always think of that book because it's like it's a
yeah,
hilarious name and a crazy premise, but
yeah, that's a great
weirdly
message,
hits.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah, eat
100%.
the cheese the way you want to. So
100%. Alrighty.
yeah.
Now, again, I'm throwing impossible questions to ask, but what is your dream role or roles?
Uh Honestly, I watched all the Planet of the Apes movies recently. I still need to see the new one. Holy shit, would I love to play an ape? Like going
Mm,
around with Andy Serkis, like
yeah,
I make monkey noises all the time. I'm a banana advocate, so I think like
yeah.
I would I would nail that role. Like
Mm.
I would go crazy.
Do the physicality with it. I was
It would be
watching
so much
that
fun.
and I saw that in theaters and I was just kind of in awe and I was just thinking of the world of like performances, where
Mm-hmm.
it's motion capture. It's kind of like reminds me of Avatar a little bit as
Mm-hmm.
well. And you get to go, it's like it's one of the purest forms of like performance and like freedom
Mm-hmm.
when you play an animal because animals don't have inhibitions. They don't have like bullshit
Yeah.
going on in their heads and like fears of
Yeah.
what people think. Like they're so free. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, that physicality, like that's play. That's like true play, so
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
crush. Good crush.
Dude, it would be so much fun. Can you imagine showing a set you're with all your friends or like just running around on all fours? Yeah.
Yeah,
That would
dude.
be
They
the
go to
best
they
day
go to
ever.
like they go to like ape school. It's like it's
Yeah.
so sick.
Dude, I'll go right now. I don't even have to be in the movie. I would love to just go to ape school.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
That's a great answer. All right. Performer or creative that you look up to.
Um I am let's see, let me think. Um there's a lot of really cool people kind of talked about that like do comedy, do stand up, and that kind of thing is really um, cool to me is to watch people's careers grow. Um, I think an actor that I really look up to is John Krasinski from
Mm,
The Office, played
mm,
Jim. To kind of see him go from the funny guy that everybody likes on The Office to now a director, writer, actor doing everything
mm,
is really inspiring to me because one day I'd love to be able to do that. Kind of have the Ryan Reynolds thing as well, sort of just like a business owner, but also performer,
mm,
and that everybody thinks is funny. Like that would be the dream.
mm,
Just to kind of be able to be a little bit of everywhere and be confident in that. But yeah, John Krasinski, he just seems like everybody loves working with him, and he is really talented. And yeah, I'd love to be like him one day, and to be able to work with him, or even just to talk with him would be cool.
mm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, love
Yeah.
that
He's
guy and
complicated.
love Jim. Jim's
Yeah.
the best.
The
So
best. Now, along those lines, would you get into directing?
yeah, I would love to. I have no idea like as far as like lenses go, like which lens is perfect for which scene, why, that kind of thing. Like I need to like take some film classes to learn more about that. But I love working the camera. I love kind of DPing and um kind of trying to find cool moments within scenes and stuff like that. And I've gotten to do a short film based off of the Waking Up books over the pandemic. I went and worked with some of my friends, and we went to Arkansas and filmed in the woods at a cabin and did this
Wait, what?
short
Is it
film.
out?
Yeah. Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's kind of
What?
buried. Yeah. Oh,
All right,
it's
send it
like
to
it's
me.
not yeah, it was like it's not like my favorite writing ever, not my favorite acting I've done, that kind of thing, but it's like it was kind of my first really big directing experience for me, and it was cool to kind of like direct people because there's like a dad in the film that's, you know, trying to take care of his family by forcing himself to eat people. And it's like,
Mm,
ooh, cannibal. But it's like to kind of play like, yeah, it's like a dude eating people is gross on a layer, but then to kind of like talk with my friend and be like, well, like it's more than just like he's a villain cannibal guy. It's like, no, this guy's like actively trying to help his family and they don't really know that they're eating people. He's just like trying to provide for his family and to kind of talk with my friend who was acting in that role about it and to kind of help see that it was a really cool experience. So I'd love to, do more maybe of a normal project where they're not eating people, but like one day direct somebody in a really powerful scene, and that would be really cool. Yeah, I think yeah, it would be a great way to because I know John Krasinski does that too. He's
Mm-hmm.
I think he directed If his latest movie,
But
which
a
is really
Quiet
cool.
Place, dude.
Yeah. Oh right, yeah. So
So
yeah,
good.
super cool.
Awesome. All right, now Comic Con. I know you've been, but if you were
Oh
gonna go like tomorrow, I don't know when Comic Con happens, but what would you like?
yeah,
What would you be? What would your energy be that day? Like, what would you dress up?
dude. Yeah, no, I've been to Comic Con. First time I went to Comic Con, I went as Carl Grimes from The Walking Dead. I got to meet the guy who played Abraham Ford, Michael Cudlitz, I believe is his name. It was really cool. I was a big
Mhm.
Walking Dead fan growing up. That's kind of where a lot of the zombie book stuff came from.
Yeah.
But so I went as Carl. I had the pudding bucket from season 4 and it made the hat and everything. It was great. But I recently went, or not recently, it was a while ago, but I went as a Jedi. Um, and it was really cool. But I don't know, what would I go as now? I was sitting trying to think about it. Um, that's a good question. Let me think. I do have a uh Boba Fett helmet, and I've been meaning to make Mandalorian gear from Star Wars. I bought these pieces a long time ago that were Miss 3D printed, so they were cheaper, and so I'm gonna try and make some sort of thing. But I love making costumes and stuff like that, so maybe that route. I don't know. What would you go as? What would be your thing?
I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Wait,
I'm
yeah.
not ready.
Flip.
Gosh.
Question for you.
I would be oh my gosh. Wait, so it's just comic book characters, right?
It
Who
can
was
be any fandom, anything. Yeah, yeah. You could
um,
go as dude from Surf's Up, Cody.
Cody
Hell
Maverick. I would be Cody. Bro,
yeah,
Cody
dude.
Maverick, greatest. The greatest. We saw
Best.
that too.
It's the
We saw
best.
we saw Dude Where's My Car and Surfs Up on
We also watched Swiss Army Man. Do you remember that?
yes.
I think we scared Bella and Jessica with that movie. They were like,
It was
"What the
deep.
fuck is going
That
on?"
was deep though.
And I was
I
like,
had heard.
"It's a good movie."
It's great.
It's deep.
I learned a
Yeah,
lot.
we were like, well, we went like one night we were watching Surf's Up, we were laughing the whole time, and then that movie was just sort of like
Yeah,
this
they
dead dude
were
on his
like,
back, and you're like,
yeah,
wait,
because
what
I
the
like
fuck?
assumed it was a comedy, so I was like, it was a
Yeah.
different style of comedy though.
Oh, totally
You
different
know,
style. Yeah.
so
But no,
yeah,
that was good. So you
uh,
go as Cody from Surf's Up,
Cody.
Comic Con.
Yeah, I
That'd be
get
sick.
the feathers and stuff, a little beak. I have a
Surfboard.
surfboard made of ice, from
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Give
You could do
myself
the
a little
necklace.
scoop. Oh, the net, absolutely. Big Z
Classic.
necklace on a
Yeah.
shell, 100%.
Yeah. That'd be sick.
Surfs up, baby. God, so good. All right. Spirit animal.
I'm an otter through and through. Um, I would love to be something cool like a lion or a wolf, but I'm an otter. I like messing with people and playing around and jumping in the water and stuff. So
That's a great
yeah,
answer.
yeah, yep.
Now, because you're an apocalyptic fan,
Yes.
I really like don't know what question I'm gonna ask here, but like if you were gonna plan for the apocalypse,
Mm-hmm.
what 3 items would you bring, or what would your plan be?
I'd probably get like a slinky first, because like people always are like, it's like I'd be like the weird guy that's got the slinky that nobody wants to shoot or kill off. They're like, well, he's a funny guy with the slinky. I'd be like, ching, ching, check it out,
Dude,
check it,
we need to
check
bring Slinkies back. Are they?
it. Slinkies were cool. I had one growing up and I broke it.
Yeah.
But I think
Oh,
I
they're
got
weird when they
like
break. Yeah. It's
yeah,
like,
and then like and then you're like, do I throw it away? Do I fix it? And it's just kind of sitting there. It's just a bunch of metal. But so I probably have a slinky, and then I probably have my what do you call it? The fingernail clips, because it's so annoying when your fingernails are long and like I have to put in contacts. So if I could like cut the contact with my fingernail if it's too long,
um,
um, so it'd
Swiss
probably be
Army
good to
knife.
just yeah, yeah. It'd probably be good to stay groomed, stay looking like fresh,
Uh-huh.
just in case, people you're like in a business meeting in the middle of the apocalypse and you don't want to look gross.
Right, priorities.
And then I'd probably I like this is weird, but I probably want my camera because I thought it would be like a cool story. This could be like nobody steal this idea. But it'd be kind of cool. You know how like in zombie stuff, it's always like the zombies are gross and disgusting. I was always thinking about like, what if there was like a photographer that found zombies beautiful and
Capture
like
their, like beauty.
hashtag yeah like and like it was this influencer, but no, just like would take pictures of zombies and would like have to like make them like create these really beautiful photos of these horrifying creatures. If like there's a big horde, they get a photo of it, and then trying to like get like a cool photo of the zombie. I don't know. I think I would be that guy. I think I would like be trying to make money off of this zombie apocalypse, take some cool photos, do some modeling shoots with these nasty. Because like you never know. You could run into Logan Paul as a zombie, and you just got to get some cool photos. He'd probably pay you a lot. So
True. Have you seen Civil War, the new movie?
not yet. No,
It
it
would kind of be
looks
like, because it's not like
stressful.
fully on the line, but it's like going into war and capturing like images,
Yeah. Oh, is that what they
kind of
do?
like
I was
on the
curious.
ground. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. No. I need to watch it. I wanted to watch The Bear as well because I heard both of
Like
these,
the show?
like Civil War and The Bear, are really good. But I was in such a stressful part of my life these last weeks and months, where I was like, I just can't watch it without like freaking out. So
Yeah.
I'm excited once I move, once I get a new job figured out, all that sort of stuff, to be able to watch these really cool things
Hmm.
that are stressful, but I don't have to be stressed.
Yeah.
So
Got you.
yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And last question. This acting journey has its ups, its downs, its lefts, and its rights, peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
For anyone listening to this who's going through that journey, as an aspiring actor, not an aspiring actor, an actor,
Hmm.
what is like one piece of advice you would give to them?
It's a good question because I'm at the very early stages of my career too, so I don't have any like secret key into blah blah blah. Uh learn about who you are so that you can play other people. Every day I'm learning more about who I am and who I want to be. Like as a kid, I thought I was introverted. The more I've grown up, the more I realize I'm extroverted, and that's been a wild process to learn and stuff. Um, but also like um as a like dude performer, it can also just be really stressful because it's just like there's been a lot of times where I've like felt like I needed to cry, and like sometimes as guys we're just the world is like don't cry, just figure it out. And for a long time I saw crying as a weakness, but the more I've been in these tough situations and like heartbreaks and stuff, I saw crying as like I was just doing it a lot, and it was more of it I just saw as just my body reacting to something happening, and instead of just treating it as like a weakness, learn from it and realize that your body's trying to tell you like, hey, this is wrong, or it's okay to feel this sad. um, so as you're learning and becoming more of a performer, learn about yourself, learn how to read yourself, learn how to take care of yourself, because it's an instrument and you want to take care of it. So yeah, just be kind to yourself. It's okay to make mistakes and fail, and um, you'll get back on the horse, but just take care of yourself. Yeah,
Amen, brother.
yeah,
Amen.
amen.
All right, man. Now, before I let you go, just let the audience know where they can find you, where they can support you as an
Mm.
actor, a creative, a writer. Let them know.
Yeesh. Yeah, so I'm on Instagram as alexander.matthews. Um, I let's see, you can go to YouTube and look up Unearthed Tapes. Unearthed as in bringing it out of the earth, Unearthed Tapes. And then yeah, no, I'm Alex Matthews as an actor. And if you need video editing, I can do that for you. I do that for clients and stuff. So, but no, yeah. And then my books are on Amazon. You just look up Alex Matthews Waking Up. They're not big enough. If you just type in Waking Up, they won't appear. So you got to type in Alex Matthews Waking Up. But one day they'll get up there. But yeah, no, super exciting. I love being on this podcast. It's super awesome. I love what you're doing. It's such a positive, nice place to come to just hear people's stories and learn how to be a better person. So I'm really, really honored that I got to be on here. So thank you,
Yeah,
dude.
dude. Thank you, man. Thank you so much, dude. So much fun. I feel like you bring out the best in me, dude. I get a little goofy when I'm around you, and I don't think
Good.
it's enough
I could
usually.
be more serious. We could restart this whole thing. I could be just super serious
No, 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 no.
in the beginning.
Keep it
Yeah.
true, keep it authentic. And for anyone listening, the all the links are going to be in the show notes, so make sure to click it, check it out there, take it right over to the goods, and yeah, it'll just again this the funny, the comedy, laughter is medicine and
Mhm.
it can extend your life. And we all need that, bro. We all need a good chuckle, and
Yeah.
that's what Alex provides for you in many
Shackle.
capacities. So, brother, I appreciate you so much, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, dude.